16 years ago, I was born, back in Beijing, China. I came to Kenya when I was 5 years old, and believe me or not, I like studies more than anything in this world. My favorite subjects are math, physics, chemistry, and biology. I play a lot of sports, specifically badminton and table tennis. Well, I eat everything with chopsticks. If you come to my house tonight for dinner, I will have to go for utensil shopping because you won't find a single fork in my house. From my description, you could tell that I am a typical Chinese young girl, right? But I am here to tell you that all the things I mentioned above are incorrect. They're completely wrong facts about me. I was not born in Beijing, China, but in the green city under the sun. Yes, Nairobi, Kenya. I know you're in doubt, but if you have an equipment that can ignore my skin color and look deep inside me, you will conclude that I am Kenyan. April 17th, 2003 was when I joined the world. And on that day, it was Easter. When my mom was distressed after giving birth to me, a group of pastors surrounded my mom's hospital bed, joyfully sang Christian songs, read the Golden Book, and blessed me with the Lord's Word. Since that day, I believed that there was a strong connection between God and I. Being amongst the 2.3% of the 1.4 billion that believes in Christianity in my home country, China, I feel extremely unique and proud. Sometimes I ask myself, with all my family, friends, and relatives that believes all types of religion that aren't Christianity, how did I, Kelly, still stick firmly to what I believe? The answer I've gotten is faith. I once had a conversation with my Kenyan friends in school, and I learned that the first time they used the public transport, also known as a matatu, was when they were in preparatory school. Shockingly, one or two said they have only used the matatu once in their lifetime, and that was when they were more than 10 years old. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. When do you think was the first time I boarded a matatu? 14 years old? Yesterday, perhaps? Actually, the first time I boarded the matatu was when I was 2 years old. Surprising, right? It was the main form of transport I used daily to return home from kindergarten. Not because of the cheerful and eye-splitting music played in the matatu, neither because of the creative and mind-blowing graffiti on their body, but really, my mom didn't know how to drive. I remember that white Subaru that was always packed in the compound absorbing dirt day in, day out. At some point, I really thought it was for decoration purposes. But now, I'd like to thank my mom for being such an amazing driver in these recent years, and most importantly, for being able to drive on the main road with no fear. Now, for all those that are already dozing off, I want you to take 1 second and look at me. Who do you see? A strong and healthy girl that is well-fed and confident as she speaks to you all. Now, that I have to give credits to the amount of ugali and githeri I have been eating in these recent years to make me this healthy and this tall. Now, let me do a wild guess. Many of you in this room wouldn't prefer buying food off the streets because they are considered dirty or unhygienic. But guess what? Since I was very young, the maize sold on the roadside, the eggs and sausages that has kachumbari inside, my friends call it smoky pasua, and the sugar cane used to be my small nibble. Now, not that I didn't buy food from the supermarket. It was just that buying off the streets used to be such a normal thing for me. I know you are like, is this true? And the 5 W's and 1 H building a suspense bubble in your head. But yes, it is true. That's why I keep on repeating the fact that my inner self totally doesn't match my outer skin. If by now you think I am 100% Kenyan, well, you are wrong. Despite the fact that I was born in Kenya and I only go to China during my summer holidays, my roots are still planted in China. It's like a tree. No matter how far its branches grow and extend outwards, its roots never move, so that it can constantly remind you of your origin. Growing up in Kenya has influenced the way I speak, the way I think, and who I am. But since both my parents are Chinese, I can get access to rich Chinese culture, tradition, and customs. Well, sometimes I sit in my bedroom and think of how lucky I am being a person of two cultures. Some of me being Kenyan, some of me being Chinese, and other bits of me being a combination of both. By now, you may be like, why is she sharing her story? She isn't famous, so why should I listen to her story? Is it to show off how lucky she is being a person of two cultures? No. The purpose of my talk is, with aid of my story, to emphasize that in life there are no boundaries. Despite that there are 195 countries, 7 billion people, thousands of different cultures and skin tone, but together, we are one. We shouldn't categorize ourselves based from where we come from or our skin tone. We shouldn't judge someone based on who they are or what they believe. Because together, we are one big family in this planet Earth. There are so many conflicts and war in the society because we as humans don't understand the connection we have with each other, the love we have to share in order to protect our world. All we think is that each man is for themselves, and the only love you can share is to your friend, family, and no one else. Through my story, I want to show that there is no difference in us. It's not that if I am light-skinned, I can't do the things that dark-skinned people do, or if I am dark-skinned, I can't accept people from other cultures. Imagine if every single one of us, making up that 7 billion of the world's population, gave some love to the world. Wow. Can you imagine how beautiful and tranquil our world would be? It is not time for us to set boundaries for racism, discrimination, and judging of others. Please let us believe that every single one is made up of a skeleton and red hot blood flowing through us. In conclusion, I'd like to say, I'd like to proudly say that I like who I am. Chinese by blood, Kenyan by heart. Thank you.